So let's start talking about speed and average speed. Let's say you are traveling at 80 kilometers per hour. So A is traveling at 80 kilometers per hour, right? And maybe B is traveling at 120 kilometers per hour. So what does it actually mean? So what that means really is that A can travel 80 kilometers in 1 hour, and B can travel 120 kilometers in 1 hour. Okay. So now, if you were let's say if you think about 2 hours, so what happens in 2 hours? So in 2 hours, you can see A would have traveled 160 kilometers because it's 2 multiplied by 80, which is 160 kilometers. Because each hour he can travel 80 kilometers, and B would have traveled 240 kilometers because in each hour he can travel 120 kilometers. Okay, so as you can see, um, this is the total distance traveled. So this would be the total distance traveled. This is the total time taken, and this is what we mean by the speed. So what we can say is that um, the average speed, and we always calculate the average speed is equal to the total distance divided by the total time. Okay, now please note, once you say that somebody is traveling at 80 kilometers per hour, so right over here, when you say somebody is traveling at 80 kilometers per hour, it doesn't actually mean that you continue to travel at the same speed throughout the hour. What can happen is that at various instances in the hour, so here's an hour from 0 to 60 minutes. So throughout the hour, you may be traveling at different speeds. So you could be traveling at various speeds. So let's say I break this down into 10-minute intervals. So your speed could be maybe 100 kilometers per hour, then maybe it drops down to 60, then it goes to 70, then it may go up to 90, then it may be off to 80, and maybe you were at 80 to begin with, and maybe you are going to end also at 80. But the average speed maybe 80 kilometers per hour. So you know that when you're traveling in a car or in a train or in a motorbike or on a motorbike, the speed continues to vary. But when you say your speed for the hour is, let's say, 80 kilometers per hour, all you mean is, so this is exactly what it means, that in 1 hour, as we wrote earlier, uh, 80 kilometers is covered. 80 kilometers is covered. Okay, so that's all that it means. So let's do a few problems regarding speed. So a bus travels 220 kilometers and in 4 hours. Okay, so we want to find out the average speed. So clearly the average speed is going to be the total distance, which is going to be 220 kilometers divided by 4. So it's going to be 55 kilometers per hour. Okay. Now here's another problem. Let's say um, Amber is walking up her is walking 720 meters from her house. So she's walking 720 meters to the market. Her average speed is 90 meters per minute. Okay, and we want to find out how long did she take. So we want to find out the time. So now you know that the time is going to be equal to, remember, it is going to be equal to the distance. So here's the distance. So it's going to be equal to the total distance divided by the speed, because we know that the speed was equal to distance divided by time. So you can, by using cross multiplication, you can find out that time is equal to distance over speed, and then you can see the answer is 720 meters 720 over 90, which is equal to 8 minutes. Please note that the units always stay constant. Here we had kilometers, hours, so our speed came out to be in kilometers per hour. Here we had meters and meters per minute, so our time came out to be in terms of minutes. And just to confirm that, you can see that if the average speed, so if this is the speed, is 90 meters per minute, and you walk for 8 minutes, so clearly you're going to travel 90 multiplied by 8, which is 720 meters, which is exactly what we have over here.